Okay. Where did I put Durga? Okay. All right, trying to take a breath. 9:15 a.m. on Tuesday, September 24th, 2019 in Sarasota, Florida. I am less than a half hour away from departing for Chattanooga, Tennessee for a work event. Haven't recorded. It has been a another very wild in-between trip time. Quite a bit has happened. Right now I just wanted to capture a twidget of the energy that is still clearly anxious, excited, amped up, coming in and through me. For the next 36 of the next 41 days, I will be out of town for work, for Ironman. I've had some long stints with them. I definitely have not had a stint this compact. 36 of the next 41 days will be spent out of town on 5 different events, essentially back-to-back. One of them includes Kona, the World Championships in Kona, Hawaii, and that one is closer to 2 weeks. It's 12 full days of work, so that sort of throws off the normal week that we go for an event. I will be in 5 different states, including Tennessee, Hawaii, Arizona, Texas, and Florida. I will be in 4 time zones: Eastern, Hawaiian, Aleutian, Mountain, and Central. I will be in 4 different roles: assist in the expo for the next 2, lead expo for the one after that, lead VIP for the one after that, and assist for expo. So 4 different roles, 5 different states, 4 different time zones, 36 of the next 41 days, and some other just sidebar notes for myself on to help explain very succinctly, if only to me, some big things. Yesterday was the equinox. Yesterday was my final day at the farm. Almost, my final paycheck will be almost to the exact day, within 1 day of my first one 11 years ago. That is a big piece. Been very, very, very heavy. The past 2 months have been very, very hard. Very challenging, very hard. As I release the farm and work through, not with a lot of grace, all the emotions. The kiddies have been triggered by this big time. Peanut has had a very off month, and she, like me, is extremely sensitive. And I do believe she's picked up a great deal of what I'm exuding. So I'm hoping that with my release, first of the farm, then of this really tense work trip here, that she's brought back a little bit to normal. Shadow Cat had 7 teeth removed last week. He is doing well. And I also have a live-in in my house right now. A good friend of mine, a gentleman, good friend, like a brother for sure. And he's here now mostly because I want somebody here with the cats and with the house, being that I'm going to be gone this long. But that has opened up because it happened about 10, 12 days earlier than I thought, which is why this stint home has been very unexpected. I was not expecting to have him move in just 2 days after I had been back from my last trip. And that has really opened up this thought of perhaps renting to him next year, which could drastically change a lot of things. Not ideal, because I really want my space and want to be living alone. I need to be living alone. But it feels right. And I've never shared space with him, and it's actually going really well, and the cats love him. He is wonderful with them. So that's a big weight, that weighs a lot. in the evaluation. Yeah, so that's all I really wanted to gather. I'm definitely in the worst physical shape that I've been in 2019. So doesn't feel, I have not gone into the fall part of Ironman, this part of the season, this out of shape yet. So that's a little disconcerting, but there's definitely nothing I can do. I'm gonna jump right back into it starting tomorrow, with work beginning tomorrow. Barely have worked out, haven't worked out since Traverse City, which was in August, because the farm was taking every single bit of my energy. Very, very, very heavy, very, very big deal in my world to be letting that go, and the nature of where the farm is as a business. Slowly dying, it's been one of the most challenging things I've ever had to go through. So in a year of release, that is now another big, big one, and it's less than 24 hours old. The travel, so I can't really even relish in the release of that because now I have this immediate challenge, and I need to remain as positive as possible and as calm as possible for the sake of myself, of course, but really for the living creatures that share my home. And I will be home for only 3 days after this trip before leaving for Hawaii and Arizona back to back, 17 days. I will likely record one time in between those 3 days when I'm back next week. But this is really, there's just most of what's going on within me is 100%, it's just wholly understood and by only me. So this is really just for a drop point for myself. Okay, let me just try to, oh God, I am just got my crystals that I'm going to be taking with me this trip, and I always travel with my mini Durga statue. I actually lost my other one at Sarasota International Airport a couple of trips back, and I had lost it before and replaced it the last time I was in Seattle because that's where I got the original one, and I was able to replace it exactly. Gave that one to my ex, and I actually asked for that back, which was kind of embarrassing. I've never given something and asked for it back, but I asked for it back when I lost Durga a few weeks back, or it's probably been a couple months now, and thankfully it's been a few months for sure because I haven't seen him since we exchanged the money for the house. So yeah, I got to take it one day at a time. I will take it one day at a time. 36 of the next 41. 36 days of the next 41. This is probably important to note too. I picked up I was scheduled to work a local race this past weekend, which I did, and I picked up an extra day, thank God, because I found out that one of the events I thought I had in November, I was told the wrong date. So instead of having 7 events in 9 weeks, I now only have 6 events in 9 weeks, with 5 of those 6 right now. So when I get back on the evening of November 3rd from Panama City, I'll have a little over 2 weeks before I go back to Arizona for my last Ironman of the season. But that's not a big deal. Like, home for that long, over 2 weeks, and then dipping out for only 6 days. Oh my gosh, like after what I'm about to go through, that will be, and like I said, I was supposed to work a full week at a local race in between Panama City Beach and Ironman Arizona. And the date, I was told the date wrong. The date is actually the same as when I'm in Arizona, so I cannot work my local race, which really is a bummer for me financially and for a number of reasons. I've been involved with that particular event for a long time. It's just for a number of reasons. There's a lot of us that are going to be out of town because it was a date change from last year, and my local woman for whom I work really, I'm really bummed that I have to miss it, but I have to miss it. I'm under contract with Ironman, plus the Ironman gig, obviously it pays more, but mostly because I'm under contract. So those are the situations. Big work trip. Kiddies that have definitely been picking up on my extremely stressed energy the past 2 months, mostly due to the release of the farm, which I have been a part of directly for 8, 9 of the past 11 years, indirectly for 11 years. The farm played an enormous central role in my spiritual journey, in my evolution. Like, I arrived there as kind of this seeking, lost, stuck in the mainstream, but definitely never belonging there, but not knowing how to find my way. That's how I arrived there in 2008. And here I am 11 years later, and swear at the foundation, at the core, everything has shifted. And the farm was absolutely integral in that. And it has not been an easy thing to release and let go of. And it is a very, very sad, heavy, very heavy place. And it breaks my heart, and I'm working to not I'm trying not to feel sad about it. I'm trying to only feel grateful and appreciative, but it just has so much untapped potential that, again, my greatest weakness is weighing the potential of something more than where it's at in the moment. And boy, oh boy, did I hold on to that vision that I saw for the farm that I really thought was achievable with a little bit of an expressed vision and some leadership and some real teamwork. That place never operated as a team. It's the worst team I've ever been a part of. No team. It's just a wholly individualistic operation there, and so ironic given all the other layers. So that is what today represents. We had an awesome little fire yesterday in honor of the equinox. Peanut went outside. The kiddies don't go outside very much, and when they do, I have to be with them. I hope that helped to make her feel a little bit better. It helped make me feel better, because I haven't been. It's hard to get in nature in Sarasota here for me. The celery fields are the only place I can go where I can breathe. You go to the beaches and there's just condos and traffic and people everywhere, and for me, I prefer the woods and the mountains. So I've just been hunkering in here when not at the farm, and I've been at the farm a lot. So everything is really shifting quickly here, and obviously it's not going to be shifting with me at home. It's going to be shifting with me, in this case, in Tennessee. But I'm working with one of my young favorites. I love this chick. She's so fucking badass. I fucking love her. I used to work with her a ton. The past seasons, I've only worked 1 race with her last year. We're only on 2 this year. But they're the next 2, Chattanooga and Kona. My other favorite person, another one of my favorites, is on this race in Kona. I room with the one. And I haven't seen her in a year. And holy shit on how much has happened. Holy shit. And I'm not really super close with really anybody outside of my work events, so I haven't talked to her. Like, we've exchanged a few texts, but nothing, wow. So it's going to be enjoyable. We really work well together, so I'm going to go through this transition there with her, unbeknownst to her, right? And hopefully, especially Peanut, will have the opportunity to shake some of her mom's stress here. My buddy that's living here, he will go a long way to calm her down, calm them down, I think, without my twisted presence here. So I'm gonna try to wrap it up because my Uber comes in 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes, so I need to be ready for that, say my goodbyes to the little kids, and we'll probably not even upload this till next week, if at all. Oh, so yeah, there it is. Off to Chattanooga, to Ironman Chattanooga. Okay?